Enzo's attempts to condone doxing and swatting and online harassment do not impress or surprise me. But it is a very common method such degenerates like this use on the internet today. You know, it's beyond me how someone like this would go this far to defame and slander other people on the internet. But then you have to look at the kind of content he posts, and you can see the kind of person he is, and he really would do anything to get attention on the internet. His behavior, his constant involvement with other YouTubers, his constant stalking, posting nudes of other people all over the internet for others to see. This is a very common method this attention seeker, some would call clout chaser, uses, and I'm not impressed by it. I'm disgusted. He's come at me recently because I have a controversial image to others on the internet. And that's fine if you don't agree with my views, but this dude has completely misrepresented everything he possibly could. He accuses others of forging. It's pretty ironic because he's done it himself, Enzo. But when he realized Dagon didn't like me, when he discovered that Dagon could dox me, granted Dagon's information is far from complete, but when he thought Dagon could dox me, knowing very well that Dagon loves to ruin people's lives, has swatted people before, multiple people, a person titled Akirix Nizki, has gone to their houses. He's actually sent police to their houses. Police who could have shot, killed, hurt people's families. Well, anyhow, Enzo, full well knowing Dagon does shit like this, knowing Dagon's a pedo, in his own words saying, hey, Dagon's a file, and not just saying, oh, he's around Dagon so he can pull information on Dagon, but just affiliating with him just because. Not even believing for a second that the stories on Dagon are exaggerated. Not even for a second just trying to get Dagon's side of the story. No, just straight up affiliating with Dagon. Well, he thinks it's okay to affiliate with Dagon, but call others out for affiliating with Dagon. Well, anyhow, so while he does this hypocritical behavior, it's a lot of projecting, it's very obvious, his content reflects this. Of course, he's going to try to say he wants to ruin my life, and then delete a post about it. Of course, he's going to try to say, well, AXI is everything I accuse him of, so it's okay to try to ruin his life. Really? Really? You've gone this far. I mean, I'm not surprised. You would do anything for attention, but let's continue. So, when he tries to deny that he supports swatting, that's obviously not the case. When you try to give somebody my information, hoping they're going to swat me, after a video's also been released of this guy making legal threats to swat, to me, okay, but also this guy Dagon has said this to other people, you know fully well that Dagon's going to swat someone when he's actually done it. You know fully well. Don't try to pretend like you're not out to ruin people's lives, like your intent isn't malicious. You are a disgusting parasite. Now I'm going to move on to why I don't think it's a wise decision for Dagon to affiliate with Enzo. Even though Dagon doesn't really care about my opinion, this is just some pattern I've noticed with Dagon. Now I'm aware that Dagon has a horrible, malicious past, and I don't condone any of his behavior. I know a lot of people have said, well, you do. No, actually, I was getting Dagon exposed in a lot of previous servers. A lot of people in this community aren't aware of that, but that's a separate issue unrelated to this video. So there's a pattern where Dagon affiliates with people and trusts them quickly for short-term gain usually, and I'm aware of that. But I don't think it would be a wise option for Dagon to seek approval or use Enzo as a means to get anywhere, because chances are eventually Enzo is going to call Dagon a Nazi as well. Enzo has a pattern of calling everyone a Nazi. You know, he has a gaming video, How to Kill Nazis, fair enough. But then he continues with Z Electrics, and then all of a sudden Wolfologies, you know, and then he's trying to go at me as well. And then on top of that, it's only a matter of time until he goes at Dagon. Is Dagon one? No, I don't think so. I think Dagon's offensive. I think Dagon has extreme views that are radical, but I don't think Dagon is a Nazi. I think you have to do a lot more than something that could be interpretively offensive to be an actual Nazi. And even that term nowadays is changed to neo-Nazi, and Enzo hasn't done his homework and studied the specifics of what would clarify someone to be an actual Nazi, because it's all painting pictures of making people look a certain way on the internet. But in short, Dagon. It's only a matter of time until he throws you under the bus. You know this. If he would do it to anybody else prior, why wouldn't he do it to you? And he already has. You know, it's not a wise option. I think Dagon should really take WL's opinion into heavier consideration, because WL could keep Dagon out of legal trouble. And really, it's ultimately WL that gets the final say in how the community sees Dagon, not Enzo, not I, not Z, nobody else in any Discord server. It's really WL. This will not clear Dagon's name, but it will help his reputation significantly if he reconsiders who he's siding with, especially because WL will actually hold people accountable, as you've seen. Enzo does not hold people accountable. Enzo posts for attention and malicious gain. So I don't think Dagon should continue to hang around Enzo, because it will drag his reputation down into the mud. And judging by Enzo's behavior, it seems like Enzo's going to exploit Dagon for views anyway. Not to say there aren't things you shouldn't call out or acknowledge about Dagon, but it seems unwise for Dagon to continue doing this, because he's digging himself a deeper hole by bouncing from person to person. He should really consider who can help him and who can't in this whole situation. Because while I don't support anything Dagon does, it's obvious that Dagon can swat anybody he disagrees with, and nobody's changing that. I think WL could at least help balance out Dagon and help regulate Dagon in this entire situation. That's why I'm saying this, in case anybody gets the wrong idea or makes a false assumption. I'm going to move on to the fact that work-wise, I'm under a larger umbrella. I can move sites, I can switch sites, I can always go from site to site, and I'm actually under a bigger bracket working chain. Obviously, I will not list that here, but if Dagon should try to swat me, I can easily relocate from one site to another. It's not hard to do. I would really reconsider, like honestly, you guys should really reconsider trying to swap me. You know, I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I see myself getting a raise in any situation where I do transfer jobs fully anyway in the imminent future, because inflation just went up, so I would actually benefit if I transfer jobs. It's not something I would do. I would still stay true to my word and stay committed to the contract I made for a specific job, but at the same time, if you guys went at me, I would just get a raise. This is not the best time to consider any kind of IRL personal attacks, is what I'm saying. It's actually probably going to benefit me more, because then I'm urged to go and get a job where I have a likely raise and I have enough work experience. Anyway, it's not wise. It's pretty dumb. As far as Enzo, I'm just going to say this publicly, okay, with Enzo. I'm not impressed by Enzo's attempts to forge evidence. I'm not impressed by Enzo's attempts to modify some evidence and take half-truths, or not even really half-truths, something that maybe one true sentence out of entire paragraphs of lies he's forged. I'm not impressed by Enzo's attempts to use audio AI. Obviously, I have a lot of audio of myself on the internet. It's not hard for AI to replicate that. You know, and of course, taking a video of me being a jackass one day and then trying to edit and completely misrepresent what that means. You know, it's not impressive. I get it, Enzo, you want attention. You want to take this edgy guy and turn him into something he's not. You'd even go to the degree of replicating a Discord server, but then turning the replica of the server that I'm in into something completely different, almost to where it's not even identical at all. Like half-truths, okay. There's some profane content, but this terrorist level image you're trying to paint, it's disgusting, dude. You are a degenerate. You can even look at Enzo's video with Dagon talking to me, and you can see how obvious it is that they're lying. You can see for yourself. Because I never endorse any of the radical claims Enzo is trying to make in that entire video. And that was an hour, not even 70-minute long video. Don't you think I would have slipped up at some point in that video? Don't you think I would have just said, oh, all these horrible things are true, if any of it was? No, nothing happened there. Because there's no real evidence you have, Enzo. You're full of shit. Forgery. It's disgusting, dude. Again, it's not the first time people have tried to forge evidence on my name. I told that to their faces. I'm saying it again publicly. I've seen so much forgery. I'm not going to list the amount of people who've done it, but there's quite a few. A screenshot's not hard to forge. And granted, I'll give you that, Enzo. You went out of your way to replicate a server. That's pretty far out there. But even then, you've had people on my server for months stalking me. Of course you're going to take something here that was said and then twist and turn it and make even more paragraphs extending on whatever was said to make it sound like it's something it's not. I get it. You know, and then of course you're going to take a few edgy videos. With AI editing, any evidence today can be forged. The only way you can really figure out what somebody is doing is if you were actually there firsthand, okay, and truthful about the information you saw. And, of course, you need someone to confess to that. Why the fuck would I confess to something that's not true with how much edgy shit I have on the internet? You think I'd be scared of the views I have of my own truth? You think I'd be scared of honesty? Are you serious? Why the hell, with my face on the internet, would I say such horrible things that are obviously untrue? Enzo. Your attempts to stalk others, to defame, to attack, to slander, it's obvious what your content and your motivation is. With everything you post on the internet, with everything you do, your motivations are very obvious. You don't care about getting a full side of the story. You don't care about actually finding out what somebody really believes and thinks. You care about fitting people into this cookie cutter image for attention. And you chase after attention. And if you want attention, dude, that's fine. But you don't need to resort to Wolfologies or the Halo community to get it. The Halo community is almost extinct. It's honestly, in my eyes, it's a failing game from a failing industry. Dude, there are people, I mean, there's degenerate stuff on the internet. I'm not promoting this, but there are people who do some dumb shit on the internet and it gets millions of views and you're like, why? It's like, Enzo, if you're trying so hard to get attention, to be seen as someone, why don't you just follow the trends? You know, why don't you just post something that's actually funny, that's actually engaging? You've had a platform for how long and you barely have 300 subs? Like, don't you have friends in school who can rapid sub to you, who can, you know what I mean? I mean, there's got to be something better you have to do if you're this truthful, great content creator, right? If you're this honest guy. I mean, it's not like your previous email is xxxgossip, Dennis Yilmaz. Oh, you want to try to post what you think is my full name in a video, but I can't say it about you. Ooh, maybe you should stop fucking with people for attention and people will stop doxing you. Imagine that. Imagine that. Your house is all over the internet. And I don't know about you. I know I have some haters, but I'm very convinced you have much deeper shit on your hands than I do. I mean, I'm not on great terms with Dagon, and personally, after seeing what Dagon's doing with the swatting, I wouldn't fuck with him. But you're over here dropping his name right now, dropping Wolfologies, trying to drop everyone's name for attention. You're just bathing in it, and you have all this information on the internet, you have your house on the internet, and it's obvious you come from a privileged background. And you have all this time on your hands. You can't even show your face. You know, your content's not productive, it's not creative, it's not inventive, it's not original. Anyone can do gossip and slander all day. You're just not great at it. You suck at it. On top of everything else, you're not even good at what you do because you can't even represent the information to even be half true. That's how much you lie and forge and slander. Also, I'd like to mention, if Dagon decides to call my family, look, Wolfology's already confirmed they called my family, alright? And my parents even admitted they don't care about all this online shit. I mean, personally, a lot of family members already know my views. They're not going to believe the bullshit lies you guys spew. Simply put. So, I don't think calling family members is the best option. I don't even think, I mean, as far as I remember, a lot of my older family members don't even use phones that you guys can call because they're on I don't even know how you'd be able to find that calling service because I try to call some of them and I can't even contact them because they're on a whole different service, and I don't even think they would pick up if you tried to call. I don't even think the signal to call them would go through. Like, I don't even think their phone would ring if you tried to call them. I even talked to my mom about this. She said that she has anonymous contacts unblocked, so they can't call her randomly, apparently. There's random people as well trying to apparently send messages like hello, but I don't know if that's from people online or not. I never respond to them. It won't get you very far is what I'm saying. Family doxing or calling it won't get you very far. I think that's everything. I don't think this community can be fixed. Like, it really can't be fixed. It's too deep in the mud, but I think Dagon could finally get himself in somewhat of a neutral situation, or he could neutralize the situation, rather say, if he starts to respect WL more, everybody from here on out should completely discard what Enzo's doing and saying, okay, I mean, who wants to hang out with the guy who calls all of his closest friends a Nazi or affiliates a Nazi? Who else is he going to call a Nazi after he calls Dagon a Nazi? And I'm not inciting that, I'm just predicting that's what Enzo's going to do, because what happens when I'm out of the picture completely? This is my last response to Enzo. Anything after this might be a satirical examination of his extreme lies. It might be just to laugh at what he's posting, just to say, oh guys, this is how much bullshit he's posting. Look at the clown himself, you know. And I have no immediate plans of responding to him immediately, if at all. I have better things going on. I actually just recovered from tonsillitis, strep throat, COVID. I've been going to the gym a lot more lately. Keeps myself sane, because all this online harassment, you know, it would make anyone insane. So I've been going to the gym a lot more to deal with that mentally. Keep myself busy, keep myself away. But yeah, in short, I don't think it's wise for anyone to trust Enzo at this point. His motivations are pretty obvious. His attempts to slander and defame are obvious. It's obvious what he wants. And he'll do anything to get it. I do think Enzo is radical himself. That's why I think he loves to project on other people. That is very clear to me. I think that's all I have to say about the whole situation. I'm not affiliated with that community anyway. I pretty much blocked everybody from Halo on every platform, every media. And I'm a lot more busy video editing, exercising. Recently I was knocked out. I had a COVID, tonsillitis, strep throat. I was so bad I had to get a IV steroid injection in the ER because I could barely breathe. Reason being because I could barely swallow even water because my throat was in so much pain. So, believe me, I've been knocked out in all of this whole situation. Barely online. The one time I did get online, the 2 times, were because I had to get Dagon's threats recorded, and I wanted to at least see if Enzo would try to hear my side of the story. I mean, he's obviously lying, but I wanted people to see how obvious it was that he's lying. So, that's why I even bothered talking to him and Dagon. I don't really care about Dagon's video about me with Enzo in it. I actually support Dagon posting that because it shows everybody how much of a fraud Enzo and Dagon are to the whole community. I mean, they call me delusional, but look at everything they try to accuse me of in that video. All of their claims fall flat on their face. Everything they say is untrue. Everything they say was so easily disproven in that video. If I was anything they said I was, I would have had a crazy reaction to what they were saying. But it's pretty obvious they're lying, so. I'm going to leave it at that. This is my last fuck I give about this entire situation. What they choose to do after this is what they choose to do after this, but that's my side. That's my response to this whole situation related to Dagon and Enzo. It's pretty pitiful that I'm even making this video, honestly. But they wouldn't stop doxing, they wouldn't stop spamming me. It's been day after day something related to them. And I have no tolerance for it. Yeah, that's all I have to say about the situation.